With interest rates, of course, increasing taxes, things that we don't know about. There's a lot of financial uncertainty. So what we're going to ask Marcus Warren is, how can you secure a successful retirement with the word uncertainty? And I do mean that. Marcus, welcome to the show. And I hate to jump right in and bombard you with these questions, but I only get limited time with you, and you are an expert. So if you watch the news for any length of time, you know, okay, interest rates are up. Okay, the cost of all of these resources, and farmers are having a hard time, and taxes and all of this stuff. So uncertainty is certainly an apt word. It's apropos, but how do we still navigate a successful retirement? What are the steps? Yeah, well, I mean, there is a lot of uncertainty out there. I mean, you have, you said it earlier, just record inflation, 40-year high inflation, rising interest rates. Interest rates are continuing to go up and up and up. The stock market is down, and the stock market is volatile. And then, of course, you have just the looming recession that black cloud that's hanging over everybody's head. And so there is a lot of uncertainty out there. And so what most people are trying to do, a lot of people are just trying to get their footing, trying to figure out where they are. You know, they just want certainty, really just in their lives, but more importantly, their financial and their retirement plans. Yeah, so there's certain steps, I think, that Marcus is going to kind of lead us through here, because, you know, if you had a crystal ball, you could say, okay, this is going to happen, and here's how you get there. Yeah. But because you have access to all the resources and technology that's available, then you're able to say, okay, this is the direction you should take to at least add some certainty into your picture, your personal picture. Exactly, right? Exactly. I always say you need to focus on your personal economy, and so we have, you know, I guess 4 things that you can do now to try to gain a little bit of certainty in regards to retirement. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to, of course, just spend less, and you want to save more. And so, you know, right now it's not tough for people to spend less because inflation is so high, and so what they're basically doing, you know, people are having to pay higher prices at the supermarket, at the pump, and really what has to happen is cash is king right now. With interest rates going up, if you can save a little bit more, spend a little bit less, make sure you have that emergency fund in place, make sure you have that rainy day fund ready, and you will be okay from a financial standpoint. And so the second thing you want to do is you want to get your money to work for you. And so what do I mean by that? Yes. You know, right now, we're in this prime spot where the market is down. And in general, people are supposed to buy low and you're supposed to sell high. But what people don't like to do is they don't like to buy when the market is down for some reason. As a matter of fact, this is probably the only market, the stock market is the only market where when prices are down and prices are, in essence, lower, no one wants to get in, right? Because they don't feel good, because all that fear and uncertainty is there, and people don't want to jump in. But right now is the time to build wealth. Right now, while prices are down, it's the best time, if you have available funds, to put money in the market, buy some of these things that are on a discount, because, you know, for the most part, the stock market does tend to go back up. It's cyclical. It's cyclical, and why not now? This is a prime opportunity to buy into the market while it's down. See, I like that line of thinking, is because I think everyone thinks, okay, it's all doom and gloom. No, actually, it's a good opportunity to, as you said, build wealth. Yes, these are wealth building times. You know, Warren Buffett says when people are greedy, that's when you should be fearful, and when people are fearful, that's when you should be greedy. And right now, people are fearful. You need to be greedy. Try to get into the market. Try to buy these things at a discount. Okay, what other steps do you recommend, Marcus? Let's talk about the retirement red zone. So if you're 3 to 5 years away from retirement, you need to start building some sort of plan, making sure that you have your expenses in order, making sure that you have a budget, making sure that you're at least starting to think about Social Security and the lifestyle and the things that you want to do in retirement. So that's important. So that would be number 3. And then the last thing is really from a standpoint of retirement, you want to make sure that you're diversified. I can't say it enough. It's the old adage that you hear from financial advisors and financial planners. And the reason, people say it all the time is because that's what you need to do. You need to make sure that you don't have all your eggs in one basket. You want to make sure that you're allocated. So when we do have a moment like this, when the market is down, you have all of your eggs aren't in that stock market basket where you're concerned and worried about, is it ever going to go up? Or
or, hey, the market is down, Marcus, and I still need to pick from my nest egg, and now I'm starting to see that nest egg decline. And so a way to combat that and protect yourself against these things is to make sure that you have investments in different categories. So when one thing goes down, you have your other investments to buoy you up.
That makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
so for folks out there who are watching now, viewers who are watching, I have a financial advisor. Why, Marcus, is it important to have a financial advisor who focuses on retirement? It's two different things, isn't it?
Yeah, it is two different things. And, you know, I say that when you're in that accumulation phase, when you first start working and you're trying to build up that nest egg, you know, there's all you're really pretty much focused on is that rate of return, making sure you have a diversified portfolio, but making sure that you're continuing to contribute to that investment portfolio. But then once you get to retirement, it's not just about investments anymore. It's about Social Security, it's about Medicare, it's about long-term care, it's about insurance, it's about taxes, and you need to make sure that you're dealing with an advisor who is able to help you with all of those things and not one who just focuses on strictly investments, because there's a lot more things that happen, a lot more moving parts when you get to retirement.
Yeah, just to talk about one of the things you just mentioned there, you know, taxes. Okay, so you said this, and this made perfect sense to me. An accountant looks at the rearview mirror.
Yes.
You, because you focus on retirement, you're looking forward in regard to taxes, right? I do think that there's a lot of difference there.
Yeah, you know, so you have the accountants, and they account for history, right? What's already happened, right? We're coming up on another tax season here in a couple of months, and what do most people do? They gather up all their receipts, all their documents, and they give it to their accountant or their tax preparer, and they say, here, account for what happened back in 2022. What we try to do right now is tax planning season. You need to make sure that you have your ducks in a row, that you can figure out ways to save taxes now before the year is over, and not lose a lot of the deductions and some of these things that you can do to minimize taxes, instead of having an accountant account for the past in 2023.
If someone is going to have this 15-minute conversation that I highly recommend with Marcus Warren of Warren Wealth Management, if they're going to have that 15-minute conversation, what kind of information should they have in front of them? And then should you both decide, hey, let's meet, what kind of information should they bring?
Yeah, so when we schedule those 15-minute phone calls, the information that one should have in front of them is they ought to have an idea of the nest egg that they've accumulated. They ought to at least know where those investments are, whether it's in an IRA, a 401k, or any kind of outside account. And then they ought to have an idea of when they want to retire, the income they want to receive, and that's really about it. And then from just those little bits of information, we can figure out if we're a good fit, and we can help you get from where you are to where you need to be.
Yeah, I like that you're into education, Marcus. In fact, you've really taught classes, seminars.
Yeah.
You do that quite often.
Yeah.
That is important, because I think although you can have recommendations for you and your client to meet in the middle on some things, you know, I think there's people who have a different threshold for risk.
Yes.
You want to know about that. And I think also it's like, look, I can save you a lot of money with taxes. I can show you strategies. And I think that's what's interesting to me, because you told me things about Social Security, other things, taxes, health care, things that you go, here's a strategy to put away that nest egg that won't hurt you, because it can cost someone, if they don't know, thousands of dollars.
Yeah, especially from a tax standpoint. You know, we feel that we can always look and save someone some money in taxes. And when you take the amount of money that you can save in taxes, and then you add on that opportunity cost, what those savings can garner you if you're able to invest it and it grows at a certain rate of return, it can be into hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of a retirement, just by being able to invest what we're able to save someone in taxes.
Okay, I love the sound of that. If you like the sound of that, okay, let's talk more about this 15-minute conversation. How do they arrange that? You actually have your schedule online, right, Marcus?
Yeah, so if you go to warrenwealth.net, you're able to go there, and my calendar pops up, and so you can schedule a time, schedule a quick 15-minute phone call. We can, like I said, find out where you are, where you want to be, see if we're a good fit, and develop a plan to get you there.
So, like, when you go for your Gentleman's Quarterly, your GQ photo shoot, is that in your calendar? Does it say GQ photo shoot, Marcus not available? Is
yes, all my GQ photo shoots are blocked out. Cannot schedule a 15-minute phone call during that time, no.
And for those who want to hear more of this good information, you are very good at delivering information. I talk about the education side of Marcus Warren. So the podcast that you do, for folks who want to hear it, talk about some of the subject matter and where they can go to listen.
Oh, yeah. So our podcast, you can get it wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And, we talk about pretty much, all things financial. We talk about retirement. We talk about what's going on in the current economy. We have a segment where we have news that people can use and take with them. And then we like to have a little bit of fun. So we have a segment of news you can't use, stuff that's out there that people think is news, but it's not really news, like stupid Guinness Book World
That's
Records.
Fun, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
You make it fun.
Yeah.
Okay. You love what you do, though, don't you?
I
got
do.
a passion for it.
I really enjoy educating folks and really helping them, achieve whatever they want to achieve in retirement.
Yeah, I think that's important, because when someone really has a passion for it, I mean, he keeps up to date on everything from whether it be taxes, health care, whatever the case may be, to ensure you have your successful retirement. Again, that's Warren Wealth Management. He is Marcus Warren. There's the website. Go there. A 15-minute conversation. Find out if it's a good fit for you. Marcus has got a lot of good information. I love picking his brain, and he's open to making sure your individual retirement, everyone's different, it fits you and reaches your goals. Thank you very much, Marcus. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, coming up here, the weather is changing. We've got a warm day today, and then we're talking about getting down in the 30s, then the 20s. So your skin, your hair, man, it can take a hit. So we're going to have some beauty tips from a national expert next on Wave Listens.